Hey everybody, and welcome back to Investment Honey, where we talk about various crypto projects. Before we begin, as always, a couple of reminders that I am not your financial advisor and we never provide any investment advice on this channel ever. With that being said, if you're new, thanks so much for joining us here in the series. I believe this is day 45, of the series. I'd certainly encourage you to go back to the first day of the video series, day 1, just to go ahead and get those introductions out of the way and to see how things are going to flow and regarding the content discussed in the series. If you are somebody that's been with us, for somewhere along the way or since the very beginning, I continue to thank you so much for your continued support of the channel and of the series. So we have some review to go over today. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at that. You can see I've got 3 tabs open here. This is on Doge Caucus. We talked about this one 2 or 3 days ago, something like that. So, created 2 days ago, according to their tracking, and last triggered 2 days ago. But I didn't reset the alerts, and I had seen that in checking, going back through before I started the video, seeing that this one was making some moves. So we found this one originally at 489K, and we can see at their high, this went to, looks like almost 1.9 million. And obviously, as I mentioned before, anytime there's a peak on a chart, not unusual to see the retracement. So there was some retracement, from the peak, all the way down to about 1.4 million. And then obviously there is recovery at this point, where it's currently sitting at 1.6. So obviously, as far as where we found it, it's 49. So that would have been, let's see here, trying to get my mouse somewhere around there. So this would have been, 2 days ago? So that would have been on the 23rd, so on the 23rd, we would have been, somewhere around here. So obviously, it kind of stayed, at this level, retraced a bit, and then you can see that it's, kind of some peaks and valleys here before it went ahead and took off today. So with that being said, and now you can see this is currently sitting at 1.7 million. That from the found market cap of 489, to 1.7, 1.8, almost 1.9 million really. There has been, some decent moves, on this chart, so another example of what is being achieved and accomplished in the series. And this is just one example out of multiple examples, of tokens that have been found, through Dexscreener, utilizing the filters, taking a look at the channel, setting the alerts and so forth. And if you've been with us since the beginning, like I said, there's been example after example after example of what can be accomplished utilizing Dexscreener as a platform. So I'm going to close this one out. I'm not resetting the filters right now. I might go ahead and do it later, but I won't worry about it right now in video. And here, this one we covered, I think we covered this one yesterday, right? So yeah, a day ago. And we saw this one originally at 353K according to our note. And this one, I only set the under because of where it was, currently, on the chart, So at 353, we would have been, let's see here, right around here. Okay. And there really wasn't much retracement, so it did really well, but even though, I say there really wasn't much retracement, it did trigger, at that 300K, mark that I had set the alert at. So if you recall, if you were watching yesterday's video, so I didn't set my deviation, too far from the found market cap, but it did retrace, to that 300K level, which would have been, roughly around here. So, and should you have been someone that decided to go ahead and follow that alert and got in, then obviously, it did, still made some moves up, and then it retraced, back down here to that 280, 290 level. And then from there on out, it never really retraced, to that area again, just continued to head back up, So, the chart obviously looks, really good, really healthy. And, they made their high, looks like it was just over 1 million on this one. So some really good moves, from not only the triggered alert, of 300K, so we're talking about just over 3x, should you have been somebody that decided to jump in, based on copying the same alert that I set. Now, I didn't, decide to jump into this one, but either way, we can see that there was a 3x, on this one. So that, obviously that's pretty good. So we're going to close this one out. And then we're moving on over to Bud. Now, obviously, the chart, doesn't look that great, but the reason why I'm pointing it out is because I set this alert yesterday as well. we can see it triggered on both, alerts, when the market cap went under 40 and to alert when it went over 100,000. So this one, since it went under 40, and the found market cap on this was 86K. So 86K would have been, right around here, and then it retraced, to these levels, around 40K or so. And then obviously it went ahead and it took off, so here is the peak, and that would have been around 300K. So good movement, on this one as well. And yet another example of what is being achieved, again, in the series, multiple examples, of where we're utilizing Dexscreener, setting those alerts, taking a look at the tokens and deciding whether, we want to take an entry, into the token. And this one, I believe, was a CTO. So again, you've heard me talk about CTOs. Some of them are good, but a lot of them are garbage. But this one, obviously, there was some activity on this chart, after we found this one yesterday. So that is going to do it in regards to the review portion, of this video, of today's video. And, again, if you're somebody that's following along with this stuff, feel free to copy the alerts, or, you can take notice of the token and then set some different alerts, according to whatever you think, sounds good to you. But, like I said, I just continue to remind you guys, we've come across a lot of different tokens, in the series. And there have been a lot of different examples where we've caught stuff before a 2x, before a 10x, and beyond. So, all right. So we're going to go ahead and adjust, my dashboard here. So, or main screen. And we're going to click on the gear. We're going to get rid of price transactions, volume makers. We're going to keep the time frames, get rid of liquidity, and keep the market cap. And we'll click apply. This is essentially what I want to see. And then on the filters, here, we'll focus on, we'll look at Ethan base today. We haven't really seen a lot of stuff coming out of Ethan base, where I've discovered stuff, really, really good. We've had some exceptions, but we've seen a lot more luck, on Solana. But either way, we'll go and we'll focus on Ethan base, and we'll see what we got going on there. And then if we don't really get a whole lot, we'll switch on over to Solana. Okay, so we're going to keep the liquidity at 1,000. Market cap, we're going to start at our 50,000. And we're going to go to 250, see what we get. And periods, we'll start out with brand new all the way to 30 hours. And 24-hour change, we'll go to 10% on the minimum value. We'll click apply. Now, if you didn't catch yesterday's video, I did provide some information in regards to some additional things you can do, with the filters that you might find to be helpful information, so I continue to remind you guys, don't make it a habit of just skipping through. You might actually want to pay attention to more of the content, just because you never know when I'm going to release, more information in regards to the configuration, the filters that may be helpful beyond a lot of the standard values that we usually set, from day to day. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to adjust the 24-hour to reflect the largest gains in the 24-hour window, all the way down to a minimum of 10%. Okay, so, and here we go. Now, looking at a lot of these, we get these boxes, the question marks, and a lot of these are going to be tokens we're not going to be interested in looking at. So really, looking at that, 50 to 250K range, we're only getting one token that I'm going to open. Okay, now, actually, let me close it out real quick. If you're somebody new and anybody joining us, you guys know what I'm typically going to do here. I'm going to open up a few of these that have the question marks and show you that, hey, these are likely tokens you want to avoid. Usually, we're not going to see any socials. We're not going to really get any activity on the chart, or we're going to get unusual activity on the chart. And so we do see that, a straight candle here. We'll even go to the 5-minute. And what do we see? We see, candle at its peak, but we don't see any activity on the 5-minute, the 1 hour, 6 hour. And this has been alive for 18 hours, right? So we know automatically this is likely a honeypot, because for a token to be alive this long, it's not going to be sitting, here at this peak and nobody's selling. That doesn't make any sense at all. Okay, so this is a scam. And then this one here, we're looking at the 5-minute. Not the same kind of chart, but again, it's sitting at a peak. Nothing going on in the 5-minute, 1 hour, and 6 hour. And this one's been alive for 20 hours. Obviously, a red flag there, and we get no socials either, so no way to, connect with their Telegram. This one here, we'll go to the 5-minute. Again, we see a chart at the peak. Go plus, flag this token as a honeypot, so we already know it's a honeypot. And again, no activity on the 5-minute, 1 hour, and 6 hour. So, okay, so these kind of tokens where you're seeing the box with a question mark, there are outliers, as I've mentioned before, where, some of them, do actually move, and some of them are actually legit. But it's, you're talking the bulk of them are not. Crime Coin is one that I've continued to reference the last couple of days, where that was one where we saw this, box and question mark, and it absolutely went bananas, so, but typically that's not going to be the case when you're looking at these. You can also use this main screen to also, make some judgment calls in terms of whether you want to open up some tabs in regards to what tokens are produced, after you go ahead and set your filters. And if you can see a bunch of these that have no activity, on the 5 minute, or you can even sort it by that. I typically sort by the 24-hour, but if you want to sort here, you can see, you can cut out a lot of nonsense just being able to see that, hey, there's a whole bunch of these, that you don't even want to touch. Okay, so even on thinks.social, we're not seeing anything going on the 5 minute and very little going on the 1 hour. So this is likely going to be one we probably won't spend our time with because there isn't much activity going on. So we're waiting for the chart to come up. We do get some socials. Right now trading is going sideways, but we are seeing a little bit of a lower low, on this in terms of just some basic TA. So but if we were to go in there, my guess would be that there's really not going to be anything. It's going to be serving as a catalyst for more buys to come in, which would translate into me, into my thinking that, hey, this would probably be one to avoid. So, but what we'll do, we'll go ahead and we'll still keep this one. We'll see if there's any more retracement, by the time we come back around to it. And we're going to, I'll go back to adjusting this and then go back into our filters. We're going to go 250, 251 to 500. And like I said, if we don't see anything, we may further adjust these filters, here on the pair age. And then if we still don't see anything that we like, then we'll go over to a different chain. Okay, so here we get a couple that will open up right away because the other three are not going to be interested, ones that we're interested in. And we can see we don't get a social here. We don't get our Telegram social, excuse me. And then here we do get a Telegram. And the chart so far doesn't look terrible, so this is likely going to be one we want to keep. So this is Ski Mask Toshi. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to go back into our filters, and this is what we do, guys. If you're somebody that's new to the series, when you don't like, when you're not really getting much coming out of the filters, based on what you've already set, come back in, adjust them, and it will continue to produce new results because Dexscreener covers every token, on all the chains. So there's just a ton of data, here to go ahead and filter through, so that you can target the tokens you actually want to target. We're going to go ahead and go to 31 to 50 and see what we get. And we got one more. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and open this one up. We do get a Telegram. We're waiting to see what the chart looks like. Chart right now is kind of, going sideways, but we do see that there's activity across the board. Not a ton of activity, but there is some activity. So we'll keep this one open. And what we're going to do now is we are going to switch over to the Solana chain. Okay, so we'll do that. Going to select Radium as our DEX. All right, we're going to save. And then we're going to adjust this. Going back to our 50, and then we're going to go to 150, here. And we're going to go back here to 30, which is basically original filters that were set for ETH and base. All right, and so we get some more tokens. We're going to start at the bottom, just to see what we get. Official Silk Coin, we'll open that one. And anytime we see any kind of language that's, derogatory or just not appropriate for YouTube, I'm not going to go ahead and open those tokens up, just making you guys aware if you're new. Crashes Clay, okay, sure, whatever. Miss Perez, we'll open that one up too. Baby Penguin, and I think we took a look at that one. Maybe, I thought maybe yesterday, but maybe not. Okay, so it's been alive for a day. I'll open it back up anyway. Okay, so we're going over and we're just doing our basic scans to make sure that, the chart looks okay, and or at least it meets our standard of what's okay. And to make sure they've got at least a Telegram. So here we can see chart looks okay. They got a Telegram. Cool. This one, not really crazy about what the chart's looking like. We got minuses across the board. The minuses are not terrible, but I'm not crazy about what I'm looking at, so I'm going to leave this one alone. We got here the Crashes Clay. Looks like, there's a little bit of activity in here at the bottom, coming back up. Maybe we'll see if it can hold, so, but for now, this one does not have a Telegram. So if this is one you want to keep your eye on, you can certainly just, as I mentioned to you guys before, just copy this from here, copy it, and then go in here and then paste it in. And then obviously just match up, some of the data here on your 1 hour, your 6 hour, and 24 hour, so we can see Here on the 1 hour, it says -60. That matches up with the -60 here. 24 hours, 85.54. That matches up. So this is the token you want. Okay, so we're going to close this one out. Because again, they didn't have the Telegram. This one, they've got a Telegram. The chart does not look too bad. So we'll go and we'll keep it for now. And this one, this is Baby Penguin. They have a Telegram. We're going to go out to the 5 minute. If everything checks out in the Telegram, we'll keep it, and set an alert. And the only alert I'd be probably interested in setting on this one would be, an under alert, just because of where the candle currently is on the chart. Microcoin, this one, not crazy about this chart, honestly. But even so, it doesn't have a Telegram, so we don't have to worry about it. Okay, so we've got, we got six tokens right now. We're going to take a look at our filters one more time, and then we'll likely start heading into channels. Okay, so 151, and we'll go to 250. Okay, all right, and we'll start at the top here. So we got Alphabet Coin. We'll open that one up. Community. Whoa, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, so I was looking at Community Coin, and now I don't see it anymore. Okay, so VineCat, sure. This one actually did pretty well yesterday. So, just from what I saw. Let's see, Gigapotus, no. Eric, sure, we'll open that one up. I saw this one, yesterday. This one originated from Pump Fund. So yeah, this one did, exceptionally well, originated from Pump Fund. Church of AI, where'd it go? Okay, and McDonald's meme, sure. Excuse me. Higher, we'll open that one up too. Okay, so we got a bunch of them here. Let's go. I think this is where we started. So this is Alphabet Coin, and we're going to go to the 15 minutes. See what we got. So right now it's pretty much sitting at lower levels. We're still sitting at a market cap of 209, but they do not have a Telegram, so we don't have to worry about it. And I think this one's VineCat. VineCat, so this is the Telegram, okay? And again, they originated, from Pump Fund. So definitely there's been a lot of talk, in regards to Vine. I think Vine celebrated its birthday yesterday, I think. So you're seeing a lot of tokens associated with Vine, lately. All right, but we will keep this one for sure. Eric, not really crazy about the chart, and no Telegram. So this one is Wind Trade Fart, okay? And this one looks like they're coming out of the bottom. So we'll go ahead and we'll keep this one. This one's the Church of AI. We're looking at the 5 minute now. It's just a stair step, chart on this one. They do have a Telegram, but if I were to set anything on this one, depending on what I see on the channel, it's going to be an under alert. That'd be the only alert I'd set. And then this one, definitely we're getting an uptrend, on this one. They do have a Telegram, so we'll keep it. And then higher, let's see what we got here. This one too, but no Telegram. So, okay, so basically at this point, we got a bunch of tokens. We're going to go ahead and start checking out the channels. This one, there's been no buying activity, so I'm actually going to leave this one alone. And so this one still looks pretty decent, so we're going to start checking out channels, guys. So give me a moment. All right, so let's go ahead and let's start checking out channels. So here we go into Ski Mask Toshi. So we're going to open up. And all right, so we get a portal, great, and we got just over 560 members in the channel. So last buy came in 1227. That's what I got on my clock. Okay, so let's see. No sign of a raid. No sign of trending. Okay, so here we go. So 6 minutes ago, the raid has been stopped because it was going for 15 minutes, and they were not able to complete the raid. So you got this many members, in here, but obviously you don't really have an active community because they could not complete 11 likes, 5 comments, and 7 retweets. So this one for me, I'm not crazy about because again, communities can move your token or they can really just drive it into the ground. Okay, so you need to have community activity. So that for me is already not a positive in regards to this particular token. So, and no sign of trending, either. So we're going to head back out. Let's see if they got anything going on in the banner. They do have some ads going. They've got a decent boost, going for this one. This is a base token. And let's be honest, I mean, Base is known to be a slower chain, so if you're going to get into stuff on Base, I mean, you do have to have some patience. They got a volume bot going on as well, so, but for this one, my only concern is that you don't have an active community. However, we can still set some alerts from this one. So we're going to set 2 alerts, an over and an under. We're currently setting this one saying the 273. Okay, so both this and this are saying 273. So we're going to go to market cap, and let's put in our 273. Okay, all right. And so on the over, we're going to make it 290K. Oops, can't do that. And then on the under, let's see here. On the under, let's make this 240K. Okay, so there we go. We got those alerts set on a Base token. And then here, this is another Base token. This is Skynet, I think, is maybe how you pronounce it. So it looks like it could be, right now it's a subtle uptrend, so we'll see if that continues. We'll see if any kind of, breakout can take place. But for now, let's check out, the Telegram. They don't have anything going on in the banner, so we don't see any kind of evidence of ads or boosts, and this is the Telegram, so there's nothing going on here, which obviously, in my mind, corresponds with kind of what their chart looks like. I mean, there's just not really much activity because you don't have a community, so with that said, this one is going to be one we're going to skip. And here with Yacht Club, we can see that the 5 minutes is blanked out, so we'll see what's going on in Telegram, and I do want to go back there for a minute. I'm going to close this out, and we can see they've got no ads, no boost, nothing going on here in the banner. Let's see if we get a portal. Okay, so no portal. This is actually this is their main channel. Right away, we don't see any evidence, of a raid. And let's see here, nothing going on as far as trending. When's the last buy? Yeah, last buy was 10:24. So that was, I mean, you're talking about almost 2 hours ago. So for this one, this will be one that we'll skip as well because there's literally not been any activity on the buy side, for a while. So Ms. Perez, let's go ahead and let's see what's going on with this particular token. I knew nothing about this. So it's a woman, but I don't know who that is. Okay. So let's check out the community. And we get nothing. All we get is a link, to how to message, the dev. Ms. Perez is the dev. Okay. So nothing going on there. So that means right away, I'm not interested in it. It's a Telegram to give you the sense that maybe they've got a community, give you the optics that they've got a community, but obviously, as you saw, the link is not to a community. It's just, to direct to DM this to the dev. All right, so we're going to close this one out. Penguin, baby penguin. Okay, this one's retraced, since we saw it. Because I think I said earlier, maybe I could be wrong. I'm just trying to recall it. That maybe the only thing I do is set an under alert, based on what the candle was. Let's take a look, here at the Telegram. They don't have anything going on in the banner, no boosts, and no ads. Right away, we can see evidence of trending. So looking for 2 bookmarks, 10 retweets, 5 comments, and 10 likes. And let's see here. The only thing they haven't been able to get so far is they need 4 more retweets. All right, to complete the raid. So, but they're doing pretty good, with a community of just over 100 members. So I will say that much. All right, last buy came in a couple of minutes ago. Baby penguin, definitely, I like this. I think this is something that people would like. Okay. So no sign of trending. All right. Let's see here, whatever's going on. Looks like, they've got major buy bot in here. I'm guessing they're going to try to get votes, for trending. Dex is live. Okay, fine. Dex just submitted. Okay. Raids in progress. All right, mods, great work. Okay. So not a lot going on there in the pinned messages, so we'll head back on out here. Now, with that being said, the only thing they've got going on as far as marketing is concerned is a raid. I've mentioned before, you need more. You just need more to continue to move the token. And with that being said, if the raid is the only thing they have going on in order to really market the token, I would imagine this is going to retrace from here. It's going to continue to retrace. So I'm not interested in setting an up alert. I'm going to set a retracement alert, an under alert. We're currently sitting at, it looks like 91, or actually the tab is saying 94. So we're going to say, even though we're sitting at 94, I'm going to set an alert at 60K, because I think there's a possibility that it could retrace that far. Here on Wiggle, we're seeing some retracement, but there's another buy that just came in. So got some pretty decent minuses, here on the 5 minute, the 1 hour, but the 5 minute should change. Okay, there we go. We'll take a look at the community. They've got a boost going, pretty decent. Okay, so we'll see what the community looks like. All right, so we get a verification portal. All right, so just over 740 members here in the channel. We get evidence of a raid, so they're trying to complete a raid right now. Last buy came in just a minute ago. All right, so anything else they got going on in here? I'm going to go ahead and just kind of skip up and see. So we don't, okay, so we can see sold trending, they're number 18. Let's go ahead and check the leaderboard. So 18, they were there, VineCat. So my guess is that they literally just fell off. Okay, so let's go back to Wiggle. Okay, so they just fell off with trending, and given where the chart is, and then they got to make sure they've got moderation. They've got to make sure their moderators are taking care of this, because this will absolutely, panic folks, and people will start selling if this continues to stay in here. So let's go back out. And so we can see sells. They just lost their trending. My guess is that there's going to be continued retracement on this. We can see a couple more sells coming. So we'll set the alert, but the only alert, well, I'll tell you what, I'll set 2 alerts, but I believe this was probably going to be due for some retracement, just because if their moderation is not responsive, then things like that come into the chat, like the dev is selling, that absolutely does panic investors, and people do go ahead and sell, as a catalyst to that kind of stuff. So, or as a result of that kind of stuff. So on the over, we're sitting at 143, 139. We're going to make this 139. And so over, let's set this at 155, okay? And then on the under, we're going to set this at 100K, okay? And we'll see if either of those trigger. Now, on win trade and fart, let's see what we got going on. And say, for some reason, we're still in this farting meta. Not really sure why, but it's just an odd meta, honestly. But there are a lot of tokens that have moved, based on that. I know that I saw one earlier that I'll show you guys that, migrated. I mean, it took a while to get out of the bonding curve, and pump fund, but once it did, I think it almost touched like, 500,000. So yeah, like I said, it's an odd meta, but apparently a lot of tokens are moving in this meta. So let's take a look, at the Telegram. And let's see what they got going on. So we got 180 members plus in the group here. Last buy came in at 1236. That's what I got on my clock. Okay. And let's see if there's any signs of trending. No sign of a raid, but no sign of trending. Okay. So I'm going to head back on out. And let's see if they got what they got going on up here. Nothing here in the banner. So no trending. We get no raid. You have no boosts. And you have no ads. And so, but it's currently still getting buys. So I mentioned this before, people tend to follow buys and they follow sells. So, and this could also still be, people that were, in the token, and they're just picking up more supply from the bottom levels, as well. There's always that going on. But yeah, I think for this one, we'll probably see some retracement, just because for right now, in terms of me setting the alert, I don't see anything to serve as a catalyst for continuing to move it up. So we're currently sitting at 155 as reported in the tab. So, okay, 155K. So I'm going to set this one at 90K. Okay. So there we go. And we're going to close this one out. And then this one hasn't retraced, which is interesting. So you got a decent, ad boost here. They are paying for ads as well. Let's take a look, what's going on here in the channel. I'm going to go ahead and get ourselves verified. Just over 280 members, in the group. Last buy just came in. They said at 200K they were going to buy a 500x boost. That 500x boost, cost them around $4,000. So I mean, they're invested in this, which is good. Okay, and they kept their word to the community. We don't see any trending, not seeing any sign of a raid, either. There it is. So we get a raid here. A pretty decent size raid as well. I mean, this one was fully completed. They needed, they were looking for 7 bookmarks, 10 replies, 8 retweets, and 29 likes, and they got all of it, so active community for just over 280 members, which is positive. You're still getting a lot of activity here since we've been in the chat, over 30 plus messages already. Buys are still coming in, so that's good. However, for me personally, looking at this, a retracement is coming. You can't keep a chart, looking like this. It just doesn't happen, so... and obviously you got to consider there were probably people that got in, at these lower levels that never sold. So you got a lot of people that are probably sitting on some decent, size, bags here that are going to sell at some point. So we're going to go ahead and set the under alert. This is sitting at 220, according to the tab. So, all right, so under, and we're going to put this at 220K. And I think this is going to come down to, I don't know, we're going to make a guess of 160 because I think there's going to be a pretty decent correction on this one. So I don't know if it'll head down that far. But yeah, that's what I'm going to put in there, and we'll see if it triggers. The only thing really carrying this token right now is going to be the boost in the ads. Even though they had that raid, the raid's already completed. So the raid is not working for them at this point. Okay, and this one has continued to move upwards as well. Which is positive to see. So I'm going to take a look in the Telegram. You can see right now they got a small boost going. One of the smallest ones you can get. But it is still a boost. So let's see here. So this is going to be our channel 1239. That's what I got on my clock. Buy just came in, and then they're number 6 on Soul Trending. We're going to check it out and make sure. So number 6 is McDonald's. So there we go. Let's go ahead and let's head back in. Okay, so I can't do it from there, so we'll just click here. Okay, so let's see. Do we have any sign of a raid? Looking to see no sign of a raid, but we do get trending. We'll see what else they got going on here in the pinned messages area. Okay. So I'm guessing they probably wanted somebody to go and split wallets, anytime they're looking to message the top wallet holder. Okay. So yeah, you can see, can the top wallet, burn or split? So anytime you got like somebody that got in pretty early, and I don't know if this one migrated, if this one was from Pump Fund or not. Let's take a look. No, this was not a Pump Fund token. It looks like it was a Moonshot token, maybe. And this might have come from Moonshot, since it's got this little symbol right here. But either way, any big wallet's more than 4%. Split no more than 2% max. So they're asking for holders to comply with that, because they already know that some people, before they go and jump into a token, the first thing they do is check bubble maps, or they check, holder distribution, holder allocations, So if you got somebody with massive holdings, what do you automatically think? You think that, hey, well, when the chart gets high enough, what are they going to do? They're going to dump their tokens. And if they dump, we're talking people that are holding 5, 6, 7%. What happens after that? Panic selling, because people think that it's going to be a rug or a scam. So yeah, so I can understand, why they're asking the top wallets, to burn or split tokens. So, okay. And then they've got a little VC going on, which is essentially not a VC, but the optics of it is that the VC is open. Okay. So I think that's helpful. They burned some tokens, obviously. And then, and they're also, again, just highlighting, split your wallets, make it look smaller. That helps to be, it's better in terms of optics, for anybody that's not in the token already, that's looking to possibly, gather some tokens. So with that being said, we're going to jump back out here. They're still moving forward. The chart still looks pretty good. It looks like people are selling responsibly, so those are all positive indicators, So what we'll do, based on where the chart is right now, I'm not interested in setting an over alert. We're just going to set an under. Currently sitting at 164, so we're going to go straight to market cap and under, and we're going to mark our found market cap at 164, and we're going to go ahead and set this at 100K. Okay, so I know that's a pretty decent deviation from where we currently are right now, but I'm always curious to see if those larger deviations will trigger, because this cannot be sustained. It won't be sustained. Either this will break out, or there's going to be somebody that's going to go ahead and sell, and you'll probably see some corresponding sells, and then we'll see what kind of buy pressure, looks like, after that. Okay, so with that being said, all right, give me a second, guys. Okay, so with that being said, we've already covered, all 3 chains today, so I think what we'll do is we'll leave it at this point. If you're somebody, that is watching these videos and you're getting some value out of it, thank you, so much, for continuing to engage with it, but I'd certainly encourage you to make sure that you share the channel with anybody else that you think may be able to get some value, out of what is being shared in this content, as well. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. Love my subscribers, and you also get additional benefits as a subscriber, from anything, from those broadcast alerts, to the channel, to, the notifications, for when new content is released to the channel. So, and, certainly if there's any kind of comments, questions you guys may have, certainly make sure that you engage with the comment section, because I do reply to all comments that are made, on this channel. So thanks so much for watching as always. And with that said, we'll see you guys on the next video.